Although it's not yet the Lunar New Year for our people, but as you can see, we have a lot of traffic load here and a lot of vehicles and the drivers are waiting here. So what should be the possible preparations? I'd like to have a chat with the persons in charge here. I'm now in the service area in a service station and we have Mr. Wang. Could you please talk about the measures applied for this transportation service area? And also, could you please say something about the traffic load and also about the passengers traveling by the Yaxi Expressway? This expressway is connecting the western Sichuan region with the Chengdu plain area. And this year, due to the impact of COVID, actually, we are encouraging people to stay in the province. Even they would like to go out for a small trip, it's always a short distance. So people coming out from this plain area of Chengdu, they could go to the western part of the province for a trip. So the must-take path would be the Yaxi Expressway. Compared to the previous years, this year we have a smaller number of the traffic loads, but still we have 40,000 vehicles traveling by our service area. And recently we have already accounted 20,000 of them. And this is a huge pressure for our controlling workforce. As you can see around us, surrounded by the vehicles. We have also set up one entrance gate and one exit gate. For all the vehicles and the passengers visiting this area, either you are here for the shopping or for other services, or you want just to go to the ladies' room or the gentleman's room, you have to scan your health code and also show your trajectory. And this is the checkpoint for the body temperature. And our personnel are taking the body temperatures for all the visitors before letting them inside for the shopping or for other services. So this is a very important step because we can eliminate all the possible risks of people having a fever or carrying the virus. They should also scan the QR code to show their trajectory and also their health status. On the spot, we have also heard that many restaurants here are calling for takeaway food. So what is that? Could you please give us some more details about this policy? Because usually we can have a lot of customers inside the restaurant, but only we have a limited number of the seats inside. In order to avoid the possible excessive gathering of the people, we encourage people to order takeaway food. So this can help us to better respect the regulations of COVID-19 response, and also we can help people to save a lot of time because with the takeaway food, they can enjoy the delicious food on their way ahead. And now we'd like to pay a visit inside one of the restaurants to have a closer look at. Now inside this restaurant, for one table, there's only one seat, and it's all self-service. And in order to take the food from the utensils to your plate, you have to use the chopsticks and also the other tools offered at the table. And if you order the takeaway food, then we also have all the facilities available. So there's no need for people to stay inside this restaurant and have the food indoor. They can also choose takeaway food. So here, this service area is one of the busiest service areas along the Yaxi Expressway. Because as mentioned before, the expressway is connecting on the one end the plain area of Chengdu and the other end the western Sichuan region. And this is also a juncture point for many expressways across this region. And the other neighboring service area, it's 70 kilometers away. So for people around this area, if they want to take a rest, if they want just to have a break or have some drinks or food, this is the only service area available for them. And you have mentioned just now that this year we have registered fewer visitors than the previous years, but still quite many visitors are still coming to this service area. We will take reasonable measures to arrange the parking lots, and we also have the categorized areas for the parking of different sizes of vehicles. The small, medium, and large size vehicles are parked in different lots. And also for the public toilets and for the restaurants and the shopping centers, there are our employees working as the guides so that we can help to channel that flow of people. And it's recommended to the people to stay indoor for no more than 30 minutes. Like that, there will not be excessive gathering of the people. And at the same time, we will also control the real-time aggregate amount of people staying indoor. As you can see, today it's a sunny day. But with the Yaxi Expressway moving ahead with this road, there will be mountain areas. So that is to say that when you pass this service area and you continue with the Yaxi Expressway, you are going inside the mountains, and once after sunset, the temperatures would drop directly below zero, and there will be accumulation of ice and also snow on the surface of the road. In that case, we have also arranged and dispatched the service vehicles to help remove all the accumulated ice and snow from the road surface. Once there is the freezing temperature at the spot, then we can immediately wipe away the accumulated snow and ice. Especially during the nighttime, it's very important service. And we also have to stay on duty throughout the night, because once there is ice and also snow on the surface of the road, then the vehicles would run at a slower speed, and this means possible risk of the traffic jam. In that scenario, we will arrange a certain vehicle to take the leading role, and they will guide all the other vehicles in stagnation to pass by the most dangerous section of the Yaxi Expressway in a very safe manner. So actually, it's not a new measure, it's a long-term practice. The next year, after the official operation and use of this Yaxi Expressway, we have created this method of the formation of a fleet of vehicles in order to travel through the most dangerous section of the Yaxi Expressway. So we always think ahead. Even now it's sunny days, we still have to consider the possibility of the falling snow and also the ice freezing the section of the road, and then in that case we need a guiding service vehicle to help the other vehicles. For example, this is a shovel vehicle in order to remove the ice and snow. It is expected that tonight by 7 p.m. there will be snow and ice on the road. This is a very high possibility because we have also accumulated a lot of experience and also data from the previous years. Around this time, every year, at night, for that section of the expressway of Liangshan section, there will be possible risks of the snow and ice on the road. So we have already this vehicle in place. We also have the information board by the two sides of the road, telling the drivers that by nighttime there will be possible snowfall and there will be ice also on the road. Please run slowly, and also please come into the fleet of the vehicle in order to pass through this section in a very safe way. With these warnings, actually we are sending a message to our drivers. If you could, please travel earlier. In the daytime, it's better. And even you have to go through this section during nighttime, you can also call for our help. So the first thing is that for our drivers, you have to collect all the information necessary for your travel. And in an emergency case, with the freezing weather, and we recommend all the drivers to pull over by the service station and wait until the leading vehicle to come, and then you travel together with the other vehicles after this leading vehicle from the authority. It is recommended that you avoid traveling alone through the section. Please follow the guidance and also the arrangement of work from our local authority of transportation. And we will also try our best to assist your traveling through this Liangshan section, the most dangerous section for the Yaxi Expressway. And also, we are expecting the collaboration from the sides of the drivers and all the passengers. Please don't rush through this section, because for people that are not local, you don't know how dangerous it would be to go through that section of Liangshan alone in the freezing weather, because you can never know how low the temperature could be and how much ice and snow there could be on the road. Even you have the sunny days on this side of the road, and miles away there will be ice and snow waiting for you, and that would be very slippery and very dangerous for you. The total length of the Yaxi Expressway is 240 kilometers, and for this section, it's only 36 kilometers, including 10 kilometers of tunnels and also 20 kilometers of bridges. And this means that if there is a sudden drop in the temperature, then quite possible you can expect to see a lot of ice and snow. And we also could see a lot of twists and turns and also the slopes along the Yaxi Expressways. And usually for the turns of the road, it's quite sudden. For the drivers that are not familiar with the road conditions and they don't know how to control their speed of running the vehicles, and when you are making a shift and making a turn on the road, then you would ignore the other surrounding environment and also the possible risk scenarios in this area. So for us, the authorities, we have also set up the anti-adversity sections. If you are facing an emergency, you could drive towards the anti-adversity lane, that is an emergency response lane, so you can avoid colliding with the other vehicles, just for the cushion effect. And as is mentioned before, this Yaxi Expressway starts with the plain of Chengdu area, that is the plain, and then gradually it will mount and mount until an altitude of more than 2,000 meters. If you don't pass through the tunnels and also the bridges, it would be much easier for the trip. But now we have the tunnels. Inside the tunnels, the lighting conditions are totally different from the outdoor environment. And for the drivers, they have to adjust their eyes, adapt their sight to the inner environment and also the lighting conditions of the tunnel. So it takes some time, some seconds for them to adjust to the external environment. In that case, we ask them to limit their running speed within 80 kilometers per hour. So no more than 80. Once there is a rule like that in place, today we have significantly reduced the ratio of accidents on the road. And for 28 kilometers of areas, we also have the special management. So what is so special about that management for the 28 kilometers? We ask the trucks and also the passenger vehicles to follow their separate lanes. For example, for all the trucks, they will take the right lane, and also the passenger vehicles, they will always take the left lanes. So they will not cross over to each other's lanes, and in that case, it's much safer for each side. And we have already this practice for 3 and 4 years. So we have successfully cut the numbers of the accidents by 70 to 80%. And there's 0 death case after the application of this measure. So today, apart from the passenger vehicles, there are also trucks carrying the goods throughout this expressway. So it means that the workers, they are still on duty and they are not taking a leave. For the trucks carrying the goods around, what are the measures related to them? How do we manage those trucks with the goods? Now, as you can see that many trucks are coming to us, they are carrying the daily necessities from Sichuan province to neighboring provinces, like the fruit and also the charcoal. All of the goods are daily necessities. Then we will give them preferential policies and also a lot of care and services. Over there, not very far away from our service area, there's a checkpoint, and our personnel are on duty to ask questions about the load with the trucks. We will ask the driver the question, what are you carrying? If it is for daily necessities, then we will give them a very quick pass. And we also have designated a certain area for this checkpoint just for the benefits and effectiveness of circulation of the trucks carrying the daily necessities. We have also noticed the container vehicles and also another vehicle carrying the fresh vegetables and fruit. Then we're in collaboration with the toll gate, because those goods, they are the fresh goods, vegetables and fruit, they cannot wait. So we have a lane of quick passage for this vehicles carrying the vegetables and fruits, and also the other fresh goods like the meat, etc. So they can go through this toll gate very quickly and not waste any second. So this is also a measure of our side to guarantee the supply of the daily necessities and other necessary goods for people's life, for the fresh vegetables and fruit, and also the local special products like the kiwi fruit from our region. They cannot wait, especially when they are traveling through long distances. We have to save every second possible. So here around this area, we have created this obstacle-free green channel for these vehicles, so that they can travel through our toll gate very quickly and they don't have to make a stop for a long period of time. At each checkpoint and also at each entrance of the road, we have witnessed the workers and also the personnel on duty. They are assisting the parking, and also they are delivering an important message to our passengers, asking them not to stay for more than 30 minutes. So maybe during the past years, we don't have such a requirement, so it's a new one for this year. But the two ends of our area, one for entrance and one for exit, we have the workers to maintain the order of the area, and also they are there to help people and also ask them to avoid excessive gathering. And they will also communicate with the drivers coming to this area. Most of the drivers, they are very collaborative and they totally understand what we are doing because they know all the measures and requirements there for the maximum benefits and interests of our people. It's for the safety and good of everyone. So in the past, for our service areas, there's no limit for the length of time of stay inside. But this year we have this new rule, no more than 30 minutes of stay inside the service area for all the visitors and passengers and drivers. And what are the other new measures for this year's travel season for the Lunar New Year? Because today we have already permanent COVID-19 response measures. So if you want to go visit the toilets or the shopping centers or the restaurants, you have to scan the code and also get your temperature, body temperature checked. And what about the total number of the passengers and visitors? In general, the flow of the visitors is much smaller than that of 2019. Because in normal days, the whole area would be full of vehicles, and the other vehicles, in order to come inside the service area, they have to queue. But it's not the same for this year. And what is the reason behind that? So for our service region here, the service area is still very busy, but it's not as crowded as usual. Because in the past, the vehicles could not get inside the service areas because too many have already parked inside. A great many vehicles would like to squeeze inside our parking area into the service region, but they cannot due to the limited capacity of reception. But today, as you can see, as we have added one more new rule to ask people to leave within 30 minutes, so no worry for the late coming vehicles inside the service areas. We are also communicating with our people, and they fully understand the rules and regulations for the COVID response. So today we have showcased this whole area of Yaxi Expressway in Sichuan province during the Spring Festival area. Although it's still very busy, but we have registered a much smaller number of traffic flow and also the passenger flow inside. And people have also created new rules and regulations asking the passengers to stay for no more than 30 minutes inside the service area. And if you go to the restaurants, it's also highly recommended for you to order takeaway food. And it's better to have your food in a place with very good ventilation, and it's better to be outdoor. And another thing is that we have to think ahead. Now we are under sunny weather, but we should think ahead for the possible sudden drop of the temperatures in the following sections of the expressways. And another thing about this expressway is a artery for the transportation of fresh goods like the vegetables and fruit. So the authorities have elaborated necessary measures to assist the obstacle-free traveling of the vehicles carrying the daily necessities, including the fresh fruit. And also for our drivers driving through this Yaxi Expressway, in the past we referred to Yaxi Expressway as one expressway traveling through the clouds in a very high altitude. So I would like to know what are your advices, Mr. Wang, for the drivers traveling through this section during the Lunar New Year period. Could you please give us some tips and share with us some proposals about the traveling experience through this Yaxi Expressway? So one tip for our drivers, especially those from other regions new to our region, please turn to the radio 101.7 so that you can receive the latest information and updates about road conditions. And tip 2, slow down when you are driving through this area. And tip 3, if you encounter the ice or snow conditions, please wait for the leading vehicle. Please avoid driving alone through this section with ice and snow, especially during nighttime. We really hope that you can collaborate with the authority and wait for the leading vehicle to come. Together, we would guide the whole fleet of our vehicles through this section. It will be much safer and assured for you. Do you have any other advices for our travelers and drivers? For the vehicles carrying the fresh goods like the fruit and vegetables, and also the daily necessities, you could drive forward until a designated area only 3 kilometers away from the service area. By then, you could pull over and check if you have enough oil, if you have enough water with you, because after this current service area, you may have to run for a long distance before getting access to another filling area. And for the passenger vehicles, especially for the designated vehicles carrying a lot of people, usually 50, 60, or even more. For the drivers, if you are not familiar with our section on this Yaxi Expressway, please stick to the radio 101.7 for the latest information and updates. And every 5 kilometers on the road, you have an LED board by the side of the road, sharing with you the real-time temperature. Please pay attention to the controlling board of your vehicle to see if there's any problem with your vehicle, and if indeed, very unluckily, there's a problem with your vehicle, please pull over by the side of the road immediately and call for help. Please don't try to go through the dangerous sections by yourself because you're not familiar with all the conditions on the road and you never know. So again, please, everyone, please follow the guidance of the local authority and also respect the regulations for COVID-19 response. We really hope that everyone could enjoy a very safe and happy Spring Festival. And this is about today's live stream program about the traffic condition on the Yaxi Expressway in Sichuan province. Thank you.